Now, this is the most powerful woman or man at Health and Human Services, Rachel Levine. Would you consider him or her healthy and fit? RFK Jr. would oversee agencies that lied about COVID and told us to hide from a virus that spreads inside. Why are Democrats so bent out of shape about a ripped 70-year-old wanting to take food coloring out of Doritos and go for a hike once in a while?
After Donald Trump announced that he was nominating RFK Jr. to be his HHS secretary, we saw two very different types of reactions from Republicans. The first is one that was appropriate. The second was one that was expected. Now, the appropriate reaction from only a handful of Republicans was to call out how crazy this decision was. RFK Jr. is a conspiracy theorist. He's he's anti-science, and he has no qualifications for the job. But the second reaction from a majority of Republicans was to back Donald Trump because they're spineless. And they don't care that RFK is dangerous, that he would put people's lives at risk, children's lives at risk with his lies and anti-conspiracies. No, they were willing to back him up. That's exactly what they did now. It wasn't just by supporting Donald Trump, it was trying to put their own propagandized spin on it, saying that RFK doesn't want to take away vaccines, which he does. He just wants to make America healthy by fixing our diet, getting rid of bad foods, junk foods, which I would be supportive of if that wasn't a lie from MAGA, because we tried to do this before Michelle Obama did about a decade ago. And the reaction was very different. And that's all coming back now, and a takedown that is triggering MAGA, and especially the folks at Fox, into a complete meltdown. And we are going to get into that all. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already, to hit that subscribe button, it goes a long way. And it really means the world to me now. Before we get into that MAGA meltdown that I want to check out, I want to see Jesse Waters' defense of RFK Jr. Because again, I think it's important to call out the shine that they are trying to put on his lives.
Now, this is the most powerful woman or man at Health and Human Services, Rachel Levine. Would you consider him or her healthy and fit? RFK Jr. would oversee agencies that lied about COVID and told us to hide from a virus that spreads inside. Why are Democrats so bent out of shape about a ripped 70-year-old wanting to take food coloring out of Doritos and go for a hike once in a while? This guy wants clean water and fresh fruit, and Democrats are calling him crazy. RFK Jr. is saying, let's diet and exercise, and the left saying, no. Stay inside, eat takeout, and inject Ozempic. If anyone tells you that's healthy, they're the threat. Trump's mandate was to make America healthy again.
So this is the spin that MAGA is trying to put on RFK Jr.'s conspiracies. They're saying, no. He doesn't want to get rid of investigations into infectious disease to see how we can prevent people from getting sick. No, it's not that he wants to attack vaccines and attack preventative care. No. It's none of that. He just wants to take chips off the shelves, make sure things are healthier, make sure we're not putting too much sugar in the food, which again, I would be supportive of. It is important to make sure that big food companies, that big pharma is not feeding us essentially poison. But that's not what RFK Jr. cares about. And it's clearly not what Republicans care about. Because like I said, when these issues have been raised in the past by Democrats, specifically Michelle Obama, they just call us communists, fascists. Socialists use words that they don't actually understand the meanings of to attack policies that they don't also understand at all. And so that's why Abby Phillip on her show played a compilation that really reflects these lies from MAGA, especially Fox, that we're going to check out right here.
There was another person who many years ago tried to raise concerns about the health of the food that we feed our children and our families. And here's the reception that she received.
When I heard this, I thought, get your damn hands off my fries, lady. If I want to be a fatty and shovel French fries all day long, that is my choice.
We're going to have, the government fining us if we use salt.
Coming up straight ahead, all this talk about the government taking salt away from you because it's so bad for you. But aren't there good things about salt?
I hate the government getting involved and telling me what to eat and not to eat.
Food police. Do you think the government should regulate the ingredients in the food we eat?
Can't we make our own decision about whether or not we want to salt our food?
All right, an Obama government obesity task force? Does every American family need a dietitian appointed by the government to tell them that this food is going to make you fat and this food is not?
Make America healthy again.
While there are many problems with the nomination of RFK Jr. to HES, this is the biggest one. To me, it's an opportunity for Republicans to play in the wellness space, pretend like they care about improving the diets of Americans, pretend like they care about making us healthy, when that's not actually the case. They just want to attack science. They want to attack institutions that are there to protect us, and really more than anything, academics and people who do research to make the world a better place, because those same researchers are the type of people who will say that climate change is a real threat, something we know to be true. And so if Republicans can undermine some science, they can try to undermine all science, and that is beneficial to them and their conspiracies, their lies that they use to trick their supporters. That's just true. And that's what they're trying to do with RFK Jr. If they cared about making people healthier, they would have listened to Michelle Obama, but of course they didn't. Why would they? They want to attack anyone who actually tries to help them, and it's all a shine. It's all a facade to allow RFK to Trojan horses Antifa rhetoric into the mainstream. And don't try to act like you can deny it. It's there in plain sight. Even RFK Jr. can't deny it when he is faced with it live on air.
Your skepticism about vaccines. And over the summer in an interview you said, quote, "There's no vaccine that is, safe and effective." Do you still believe that?
I never said that.
So stop me. We have the clip. Please play the clip.
You've
talked about that the media slanders you by calling you an anti-vaxxer. And you've said that you're not anti-vaccine, you're pro-safe vaccine. Difficult question. Can you name any vaccines that you think are good?
I think some of the live virus vaccines are probably averting more problems than they're causing. There's no vaccine that is, safe and effective. What I'm saying is that none of the 72 vaccines has ever been tested in a safety study pre-licensing.
So let me ask you if you think it's wise for people to take these vaccines, because you had this to say on a different podcast about whether people with young babies should be getting them shots. Watch.
For many, many years, I think parents were so gaslighted, and they were scapegoated, and they were vilified and marginalized, so that even parents of kids who were very, very badly injured knew what happened to their kid, but they were just reluctant to talk about it. And I think now those days are over. Our job is to resist and to talk about it to everybody. If you're walking down the street, and I do this now myself, which is, I don't want to do, I'm not a busybody. I see somebody on a hiking trail carrying a little baby, and I say to them, better not get them vaccinated. And he heard that from me. If he hears it from 10 other people, maybe he won't do it. Maybe he will save that child.
Maybe he will save that child. You think preventing vaccines for a child will save that child? Do you still say this to parents today?
What I say again is I had 3 vaccines, Casey, when I was a kid, and I was fully compliant. My kids got 72. The current recommendations are, I think, around 77. And
I have a vaccine record for my child, and there are not 77
there are 77 doses. There are 72 doses of 16 vaccines.
I absolutely love that clip. Not because it's funny, it's dangerous. And especially if RFK Jr. is to be confirmed, which I think, unfortunately, all of Donald Trump's cabinet nominees might be through special session. I don't know if they'll be confirmed through the Senate. There is pushback that we can still make happen. But it does scare me. But it's funny that RFK can draw a lie when his words are clear, because he spoke them. Maybe he forgot. I doubt that that's the case, but when he's confronted with it, didn't look too good for him, did he? But none of Donald Trump's cabinet appointees can face their words, can face their actions, face their beliefs, because if they did, they wouldn't get confirmed except by a bunch of maybe spineless Republicans. But that's exactly what I was calling out right here.
Some of the concerns you have about what he might do to HHS.
Yeah, I think it's what's very important too is that, yes, there are these concerns about you have a baby And anywhere in the world, I mean, protecting against polio, against measles, against very serious communicable diseases that, I mean, we would be talking about going back to the, 1700s, 1800s. I mean, this is serious. But on top of that, if you're a Republican that voted for Donald Trump, you believe in his agenda, something that is broadly popular among Republicans and Democrats are community health centers. If you live in a rural area and there's not a hospital very close to you, but there is a community center closer to you, it could be decimated under Robert F. Kennedy. And we're talking about people who live in rural communities. We're talking about people who live in underserved communities that have been neglected. In order to, whether it's to get a shot or just to get checked up on, we're talking about the potential decimation of community health centers.
And we haven't even gotten to Tulsi Gabbard potentially having access to national security information. And Russia loves it, loves her.
And I actually think almost more than Matt Gaetz, Tulsi Gabbard's appointment is devastating. And Tulsi Gabbard's nomination, as much as she says that she's an anti-war person, she's not. She supports very pro-war individuals,
including in Syria.
And let's be very clear, a Tulsi Gabbard nomination is a pro-war nomination globally. Point blank, period.
As is Donald Trump as president of the United States. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, thank you so much.
Of course, thank you.
Much appreciated. Thank you. And
These people are dangerous. And it's what I talked about so much with Donald Trump's Project 2025 agenda, is that it wasn't just about empowering himself, making himself a dictator on day one. Supreme Court said he could do so. It's about empowering everyone else around him, for Matt Gaetz to go after Donald Trump's enemies as AG, for RFK Jr. to push conspiracy theories from a position of power as HGH secretary, for Tulsi Gabbard to give state secrets to Putin. That's what they want to do, unless we use our voices and we use our power to try to call them out and stop them. And that's what we're going to be talking about every single day on the show. If you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, you leave a like on this video, and if you're stuck around at the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.